and welcome to DayCreek.com's journal video. I'm Alan Stankevitz. I'm trying something a little different for a change. Get up with the real world and include some video along with the journal. So this is the first of many, I hope, of videos describing what we're doing here at DayCreek.com. Now, over the past few months, Joe and I have been researching different countertops to use in our kitchen. These cabinets are made out of hickory that were locally milled, and in trying to keep with the eco-friendly concept, we looked at different eco-friendly options for these countertops. And although we did find quite a few options, most of them, albeit eco-friendly, were pocketbook unfriendly. And after a long series of discussions between Joe and myself, we finally came to the conclusion that concrete was the answer. Now, although concrete itself is not an eco-friendly product, what you put in with it can very well be. And in this particular case, the mix that we've finally decided on, this is about 82% post-consumer product. There's recycled glass chips in this mix, as well as glass sand. Both are post-consumer, coming from the landfills where glass is taken, broken into chips and broken into fine particles. So there's a lot of glass in this countertop, and there's also some post-industrial fiberglass material that's used as well. So we tried to make it as eco-friendly as possible with the Portland cement. So today I'm going to take you on a virtual tour of what it takes to build a concrete countertop. For those of you that remember Julia Childs, Julia was a French chef who had her show on public television, and whenever she would make these really nice, pretty, fancy food dishes, half the time they're already pre-made. So in honor of her, I've done the same and made this stencil ahead of time. This is made out of 1/4-inch Luan board, which is a form of thin plywood, cut into strips and then hot glued together to match the stencil or the countertop that we're about to pour. And you can see here that this stencil fits nice and snug between an already completed piece of concrete countertop and the kitchen stove. So let's take this over to the table and let's build a form. Here we are at the table, and through the magic of video, I've already made the form. But nonetheless, I will share with you some of the attributes of this form. You can see in the middle we've actually have placed the stencil. This was used to create the form, and if you see it says top. Well, what happens is that your top becomes the bottom in the mold. The reason for this is that we want a nice flat level surface that we don't have to screed or do any kind of fancy stuff with. And we use a melamine sheet, 4x8 sheet laid on this table. It's only a 1/4-inch thick, but nice and shiny. This helps release the mold, so there's less trouble with that. And of course it's nice and level. And when you do that, it decreases the amount of grinding that you have to do once the concrete is set. Now, a couple other things I'd like to note to you about this form. The sides, which are 1.5 inches tall, are made also out of a melamine material. This is a shelving material, 3/4-inch press board that has a melamine coating on it. So we've got this nice shiny material all the way around. Now in this particular case I've caulked all the edges. Some people when they make these molds caulk, some don't. I like to caulk just because our mix is rather fluid and I don't want that to be seeping out through the edges. So all the edges have been caulked. We also have this attribute here. This is to form an area around a post that is basically exterior to the cordwood wall, so that this will all very evenly match. So we're about ready to go here. All we have to do now is make the mix.